Hey guys, as someone who has struggled with their mental and physical health for over 10 years, you can imagine that at some point I started to feel a bit hopeless, and actually there was a lot of times where I felt hopeless that things would never change, and I had all these issues and symptoms that I didn't even know what was going on or who to talk to, and if I did talk to someone, I definitely didn't have the money to do so. Fast forward to today, and I have been having these lovely adaptogens called Adrenoplex for the last almost 3 weeks now, and I can't tell you how much they have changed my life for the better. They have two different types of ginseng in them, which is really good for energy. Korean ginseng and American ginseng. And they really help to stabilize the nervous system and hormonal levels, so that instead of feeling like we're on a roller coaster and doing flips and tricks and just feeling out of control, it really allows more balance and flow to come through, because it is, from what I've learned, putting the brake on the vagal nerve to be like, hey, let's just calm down. You're not in fight and flight anymore. You don't need to fawn. You don't need to freeze. It's safe to move forward, and I love that for me. So yeah, I just got it. I talked to a naturopath, and I got it from the health food shop originally, and then the chemist secondly, because I ran out when I was on holiday, and I tell you what, I really felt it. I've also talked to another naturopath, which is one of my dearest friends, and we were talking about my digestive system and how it hasn't had the support that it's needed. So two main functions of the human body to feel normal, or at least have your shit together, or feel that you can overcome obstacles, that we can overcome obstacles in our lives, have been two things that I have not had support with my entire life up until now. So you can imagine that I'm experiencing a whole new me and a whole new life. So I have these beautiful little drops. I put 10 drops into 20 mils of water. Swish it around in my mouth, because it seems, so for a long time I thought our health begins with gut health. But actually it turns out that our health begins with oral health. Isn't that fascinating? So anyway, somehow this is all connected. Still learning and figuring it out and piecing the pieces of the puzzle together as I go, which I honestly find fascinating. The downside is that I've experienced all these symptoms, and it's been really hard, and feeling like I'm drowning at some points of my life and wanting to give up completely, which I know is what a lot of other people experience as well. And unless someone has been through the darkest parts of their soul, at least if people haven't experienced the dark night of their soul and the dark night, then it's really difficult for me personally to be able to talk to them about what I have been through, or what I'm going through, if I'm going through it at the time. It really helped to talk to someone who I felt comfortable with and had experienced their own darkness and had similar beliefs to what I believe, in order to feel confident and comfortable enough to have these chats. So, back to my exciting part of my journey. Life has changed dramatically in the last 3 weeks, and not just because I've gone on holiday. my energy levels have increased. And instead of a fast, hit the ground running energy that I guess a lot of people experience with coffee, I have been experiencing a gradual build-up. And I noticed that within the first week, I already started responding to the adrenoplex in a really positive way, even on half the dosage. Actually, not even half the dosage. Oh, yes, half the dosage. So it says to have 2 in the morning and then 2 in the afternoon. Because I am so sensitive to everything, especially herbs and what I ingest, I am having 1 in the morning and then 1 in the afternoon. And that seems to be working for me. So it's been a gradual build up of energy. And with this energy, I've been able to actually just allow myself to relax a little bit more. I have felt more peace within my body, which has been phenomenal. My anxiety and stress has been more easily manageable. And also my partner is open to having them as well. So he's having them too, and I'm really curious about how it will help him as well, because we have similar things. Something that has shifted as well is, now I feel like this is for a different reason, but in the last week I've been having a lot of dreams about people from my past coming back to make peace with them in my dream, which has been a bit strange and quite wonderful. I have been doing the ancient Hawaiian forgiveness meditation, the Ho'oponopono, a lot more regularly as well, so I feel like that's definitely helped, plus a little bit of microdosing and with some plant medicine, which is not the usual microdosing. Again, because I'm so sensitive, I just need to sometimes be around it, or just have a really small amount, and I can just run on that frequency for as long as I desire. Another positive thing is that I have finally, I've been wanting to go for a walk all winter, no joke, and I just haven't had the energy, or I've just been in massive hermit mode, and I just haven't even felt like I could leave the house sometimes, let alone actually leave the house. And on Sunday, we all, meaning myself, my partner, and our beautiful Shiba Inus, went for a walk to Karawatha Forest, which is a place that I've been wanting to visit and go for a walk for a long time with him. And we did it! We finally did it. And I went to the gym the day before. Now, when I told my family I went to the gym, they were quite surprised and I'd say maybe even in shock. It was a wee bit stressful, as there have been several triggers that have been coming up over that weekend for myself and for my partner, which ultimately are wonderful for bringing us closer together and getting to know each other more deeply, which is what I love the most about relationships, is how we overcome obstacles together and the enjoyment and the depth of connection that comes from that. So we did it. We went for a walk, and I just realized, because I went from inside to outside, the dogs were barking, the gate seemed to have been opened. I lost track of where I was, but that's great, because I got to add that little bit about relationships. Got a cup with my name on it. So cool. So, I was saying about going to the gym and telling my family, and how they were surprised and shocked. And honestly, I guess like initially, you know what? I wasn't surprised because I had been wanting to go to a body balance class for a really long time, and I finally got to do that and be there. And it's all thanks to one of my beautiful dear friends, Andy, who has a gym membership, and the dealio is that you can bring a friend from Friday to Sunday to go to the gym, whether it's a class or a workout or whatever. And this is really wonderful because I've been thinking about ways to, now that I have more energy, that I'm building my vitality, increasing my vitality, what do I desire to do with it? And if you know me at all, you would know that I really love having fun and being playful, and I love fun activities. So even, for example, when I was in high school, my family had a treadmill, and instead of emotionally eating when I was feeling angry or upset, if I was angry, I'd just punch the treadmill for like a few minutes until I was actually exhausted and felt like I expended that energy to come back to more of a neutral state. And if I was sad, then I would just go on the treadmill, or I would make it a regular practice to go on the treadmill and to basically create my own workout. Because it had an incline and you could change the speed, I like to change the speed and the incline within a few minutes. And I believe it's actually a really good way to have a workout, which now would be probably akin to a high intensity workout where you alternate. But I'm not a professional and that's not my thing, so take what I say with a grain of salt with that one. Anyway, it worked for me and I loved it, and one of the things I love about life is that I get to customize it to my own needs and desires, and I get to enjoy and experience it with other people and beings. Nico, hey Nico, like this little guy. Look at you, he's so cute. Having a good day walking at people outside. So yeah, I am really glad that at this point in my life, and even though it has taken what feels like forever and it felt like there was no hope ever, that there actually has been a lot of light and joy and revelations, and maybe I'm not living the life that I thought I might, or that people wanted me to, or expected me to, or expect me to, and that's okay. This is my life. I have chosen it to a degree, consciously in this lifetime, but I also feel like there are just other things at play that we don't have control of in our physical life, that we surrender control to when we choose to live a human life, or choose to live. And it's taken me a long time to be okay with this, and sometimes, like even yesterday, I was not 100% okay with it, and I was questioning whether I am where I'm meant to be. And you know, I've met a lot of people in my life who have been backpacking from other countries, and I remember them asking me, oh, have you been here? I just went here, it was amazing. And I was like, nope. It was something like Fraser Island, or you know, any of the islands, or even places in New South Wales or Victoria or Perth that I hadn't been to, and some that I haven't been to. And they're like, oh, that's weird, why wouldn't you explore your own country? Like, it's here, you don't have to really go overseas, or you know. And I was like, oh. And that really planted the seeds for me, and I didn't think that travel would be something that I would like, and maybe it's because of multiple reasons, including I really, especially when I was younger, really struggled with change being a thing. And I've noticed that there's been certain I guess elements of my past self that have been coming up recently, and probably also thanks to the retrogrades that have been going on, which a lot of people don't seem to appreciate, but I really appreciate them because they help us to slow down and review and reflect and rejig and readjust and revitalize our energy and refocus on what's really important, and how to live the most fulfilling life that I possibly can, and be an inspiration to others, and to share my knowledge and wisdom with those I cross paths with. You know, that's what the meaning of life is for me. And so back to what I was saying before, I was wondering if I actually am where I'm meant to be, even just yesterday. And then this morning, actually it's funny because my partner ended up going to North Queensland for work, and so I was like, okay, well, I won't do my usual routine. And I also felt like a banana split, so instead of having one where we had dinner, which would have been, ooh, an ant bit my bottom, instead of having one at dinner, which would have been dairy, and dairy is really terrible for me, unless it's in small amounts. But instead of self-sabotaging, I asked if we could go to the shop, Woolworths, and get some vegan ice cream. And I got a banana. First time I made myself a banana split. And I also bought some peanut butter because I have been craving peanut butter, and it's funny because I didn't even used to like it when I was growing up. But, you know, as I was kind of inferring before, I am a different person than who I used to be, and it makes a difference when our body isn't being supported and having that balance, or being able to restore its homeostasis, which is balance in the body, to be able to live life and not just survive but thrive. So I could go on and on and on about my life for days, and I actually really enjoy it. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask, and I'd love to share, also depending what it is. But generally I'm a pretty open book, and I am learning to be more open and vulnerable with who I am and where I'm at. It's been a 10-year journey of unfurling and unlearning and letting the masks all go to be my most authentic version of myself, and to live the most fulfilling life that I can. If you are struggling with anything, whether it's your mentality, whether it's your intellect, whether it's your physical health, whatever it is, please be more kinder and compassionate to yourself, because it isn't just all in your head, and it isn't all just a you problem. You know, I don't want to go too much into genetics and everything, but they have their place, and they definitely do affect us, plus the way that, you know, we're brought up and what we're told and what we learnt beliefs from others, and the experiences that we have, and so on and so forth. Everything that we experience from utero to utero to this moment now, as you're watching this video, all influences our life. And the great thing is, when we get a chance to slow down and reflect, we can actually ask ourselves, We can actually ask ourselves, is this actually serving me? Is this serving a purpose? If it's serving me, in what way is it serving me? Because sometimes our subconscious believes or feels that it's protecting us when actually the threat is over, and we can let it go and we can allow a new belief to form in its place that actually does serve us. Part of the reason I love talking about limiting beliefs and reprogramming, rewiring the brain is because I've experienced it for myself, and I've been trained by spirit and myself for many years in doing this, and I'm incredibly passionate about it because it's life-changing. And honestly, if you want to stay where you are, then there's nothing wrong with that. You can do that. And if you want to grow and shift and change and evolve because you want to, and you want to explore the world and your inner world, and it's what you desire to experience in life, then freaking go for it. And what I want to say as well is it actually can happen more rapidly, especially now in this day and age, in this time and space, more rapidly than you might even believe is possible. And I know that it is said that the world is created by our beliefs, and absolutely, to a degree it is. The thing is, and again, this is a belief, but the thing is, I believe that regardless of our beliefs, there is still things that exist or that happen or can happen regardless of whether we believe in them or not. For example, if you don't believe in yourself, or I'll say it in my terms, even when I didn't feel I believed in myself, there was a small part of me that did. There was a small part of me that kept encouraging me to grow and evolve and to reflect and to keep putting myself out there. Even in the times where I've felt, what's the point? I've come back to the present moment and I'm like, okay, well, I only have one life in this body. How do I choose to make the most of it right now? And I come back to the present moment and I ask myself, what do I need? What do I desire? What would bring me my highest joy right now? And do I want to, or do I desire to experience it with myself alone or others? And if there is no others, then how can I love myself through this moment? Or how can I enjoy and make the most of this moment? There are lots of points that I feel are very valuable in this video, and it's really great to give myself the time and space to share what I feel, what I think, and the way that I perceive the world, and actually recognize that it is valuable. And give myself that time, rather than just sharing a snippet here or a snippet there and rushing off because I don't want to waste people's time or whatever the silly story is that was in my head. I'm glad that I have overcome this obstacle, and I trust and I hope that for those of you who watch this video, this brings you that renewed sense of joy, hope, inspiration and faith in yourself and others, and that it gives you inklings or breadcrumbs to follow to magnetize your dreams into reality, because dreams do come true. And I am living proof of that. I'm completely different to who I used to be and where I used to be. My life is a stream of miracles, whether I perceive it that way or not. And sometimes we just need to remind each other that we are the creators and the co-creators of this reality, and we can make it happen. I love you. Take the best care of yourself. And if you desire to have a session with me, let me know. If you have any questions, feel free to comment and I'll get back to you. Have a blessed day. You are a miracle. Bye for now.